If you could change any choices you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices radio show, Christine McIver.
Oh, that's right. It's me again. Hello, my friends. It's Christine McIver here on the Inspired Choices show on the Inspired Choices Network. And as promised, I'm here again. I'm here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Mountain, 6 Central, and 5 Pacific. Get my brain around all that. I'm here every single Wednesday bringing you all that I can to contribute to you and to contribute to your business. And for the two of you to come together and have more fun and more pleasure. Because for me, business is pleasure. And I think that there's so many people out there that are operating from the place of this is hard, this is difficult. And it doesn't have to be. You know, we have a choice around everything. So you can have a choice around how difficult or how much fun and pleasurable it can be to be in business. I've been in business for more than 13 years now. I worked in corporate and then I started my own business, which many people do. And I have such a hope to bring people joy and ease. And each and every one of my shows that I'm doing, I'm bringing what I know is a challenge and my insights and what I've personally learned through my experience, my education, and my connections to bring it to you so that you too can really benefit from it. You know, a lot of times people say, I need to, do it myself. I need to figure it out myself. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't try to spend more of your time and energy into really moving through all the steps. Take advantage of the people that are out there bringing content to the table. You have got so many people bringing content. And here on Inspired Choices Network, we have over 6,000 episodes. They are all complimentary to you for whatever you can imagine. You can just search, you can just go into our search window and you can put in any topic. And I promise you that that topic will have been talked about or something will have been discussed to really bring you more knowledge. And we have some really dynamic hosts here on the network that talk about everything from financing to parenting to relationships to business and everything in between. So do check that out. And wherever you're listening from, I would love for you to type in hashtag live or hashtag replay because we are on over 250 platforms. This is a live show. So if you are listening on March the 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern, you're listening live. And if you're listening in the replay, we are on so many different platforms, including TV, that you can catch us through your phone, through our phone app, just search Inspired Choices Network, or check out your TV, go into the TV apps. Depending on if you have a smart TV, you can search for Inspired Choices Network, or you can find us through the Binge Network platform. You can watch from the comfort of your own home, or of course on your phone or through your computer. We are everywhere. And so there's no excuse for you not to be receiving more information to support you. It's a matter of your choices. And I hope tonight that you lean in and really listen into what I have to bring, because I know that connections can make bank. Now, let's get into tonight's show. So the title of tonight's show is How to Make Bank with Your Connections. Now that, when the titles come to me, it makes me giggle and it makes me laugh, but it also speaks to the challenges that many of us are having. We live in a world right now where connections are distant, where connections are done through our computer, through our phone. Primarily, we're not connecting in person with an intimate community to the degree that we did 20 years ago. That's just changed so dramatically. We used to actually go to a lot of networking events. That was part of my corporate world. Was I did a lot of networking events. and I was in human resources. I was going to a networking event every single month, and I was meeting people, sometimes the same people, sometimes new people. But what is true about meeting in person or meeting people online is how you connect. And that's part of what I want to speak to tonight, is how you connect. So if you are listening and you would like to ask me any questions, please feel free to email me, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca, or of course, just put my name in Google and you will find me. If you find this face, that's me. So let's get into tonight's show. So talking about connections, looking to make bank can and often is challenging for entrepreneurs. In our fast-paced world, our choices, actions, and connections matter more now than ever. Just showing up and being quote unquote active is not enough. And I'm sure that you know that. I'm sure that you are having the outcome of like, I'm doing it, I'm showing up, I'm posting here, I'm posting there, and you're just not getting the return on your time and your creations as you would like. In the world of online business connections, with a strategy is key. You must have a strategy, and we're going to talk about that again tonight. When we leverage our time with meaningful connections, we surround ourselves with strong possible opportunities. And those opportunities can make bank if we are willing to evaluate our ROI, which of course stands for return on investment. Bigger numbers with bigger followers and friends does not automatically translate into cash. It's a myth that so many people fell into, with like, oh, I got to get more followers. I got to get more followers. I got to get more followers. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is actually one of the biggest lies that we have bought into. And it's an addiction. It really is. How many out there, put your hands up, how many out there find that it is an addiction in business to see how many followers you can get on your different platforms? Being on lots of platforms is great, because what you're doing is you're actually showing up there for people to be able to discover you. Now, there's more to it than just showing up there, but many of us are showing up on these platforms and then trying to gather and gather and gather more and more followers. And it's just not. The algorithms are showing you that, first of all, you know what? Just because you have a follower doesn't mean that A, they're going to actually connect with you. B, that they're even going to be shown your material, your posts, right? That's the algorithms. And C, that they're going to want to engage with you. And that's where we're going to be spending a lot of our time talking about tonight, is how to get that engagement so you really can turn your connections into bank. So when we leverage our time, it makes a huge difference. And so tonight in this episode, we're going to learn about some essential steps we must take with our businesses to make bank each and every day. First of all, I want to tell you that if you're frustrated, I'm so happy you're here, because I have a lot of things that I want to share with you for you to, go away and think about, but also for you to have some real tangible tools that you can begin to implement right away. It makes a massive difference in what I'm going to share with you. Okay, so let's first and foremost talk about why engaging is key. Let's talk about why engaging is key. This is one of the biggest things that people, and I've done it, and I'm sure that if you're in business, you've done it. Even if you're not in business, even if you're doing it personally, you post something. And what's the first thing that we do, guys? We grab our phones and we post and we wait, right? Tell me the truth. Come on. We sit here and we wait and see who's going to like it. Are they going to like it? Or are they going to love it? Are they going to have a comment? Is it going to be positive? Is it going to affirm what I was believing and thinking? Is it going to be challenging? Are they going to call me out? Like, what's going to happen, right? We are addicted to the instant gratification. So a lot of us, when we're posting, we have got an energy behind our posting that's actually going against what we desire. So the need to be, first of all, affirmed, that is a natural, absolutely, every human being wants to be acknowledged and wants to be affirmed. But for a business, we have to make sure we don't get caught in that tangled web of, if I'm affirmed, therefore, and where the mind goes, therefore, if I'm affirmed, they like me, maybe they love me, and maybe they'll actually hire me. Maybe they'll work with me. Maybe they'll choose to really engage and reach out. And we get caught in this lie of it believing that any kind of engagement is going to turn into cash. And that is just not true. Now, we want engagement. So don't get me wrong about that, but please, please, please don't ignore the facts. And the facts are that engagement is just one step. Yay, you posted. Yay, you showed up. You did a live video. Yay, that's awesome. So I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Consistency is one of the premium steps you must be taking as a business owner. Consistency. And why? Why do I need to keep showing up so much, Christine? What I put out there was great. Well, I'll tell you why. Because we have got millions and billions of people online, right? And we have millions and millions of people making offers. Now, I want to tell you, and I don't have all the numbers in front of me, but the percentage is probably about 60 times more of how many people are showing up compared to how many people are actually doing business online. Yes, there's a lot of people doing business online, but there is still lots of opportunity for you. So please try not to get discouraged and keep listening. So first of all, there is a lot of people out there. And what do the algorithms and these different platforms, the different platforms all have their different way of presenting your material, presenting your post, having you show up in another person's feed in a different way, similar, but different. But what they all do is they all have a lot of information that they are flowing to people each and every day, each and every minute of that day. So what that means is that, oh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Don't you love live radio? So every platform is flowing content to people continuously. And all you have to do, and you know this, is all you have to do is just pull down on the screen or hit the refresh button, and you're going to get a new influx of feeds coming towards you. So what does that mean? That means that there is constant turnover. So if there's constant turnover and you post today and the timing of your post happens to be a little off with a prospective client, they miss it. So when you are being consistent in showing up on a daily basis, yep, I said it, a daily basis, when you are being consistent, you are playing the numbers. Now, it's not like going to the slots, but it kind of is. In other words, you're playing the numbers in that you are going to be moving the numbers in your direction. You are increasing the probability of that client seeing what you are posting. Now, there is a lot of tools out there, and if I have time, I'll talk about it tonight. That doesn't mean that you, Mr. Entrepreneur, Miss Soulpreneur, that you have to be on all of these platforms for hours on end. You don't. There's so many amazing tools out there to support you. And I have learned about so many over the years, and I use them. I am doing a lot of things, and being on social media, posting individually constantly is not something that I'm doing. And even if you don't want to do it, there are so many amazing support people out there that that's what they do for a business. So you can hire an expert to do that for you. So, But what I really want you to get is consistency, right? This is eventually going to move you into cash. This is going to make bank, all right? Consistency is key. So just write that down. Consistency is key. How to do it, when to do it, we can get to that later. But this is one of the most important things. So let me ask you, would you be willing to show up so you can increase the probability that someone that is looking for you and your brilliance will have the opportunity to find you? Yes? Can I get a yes? Awesome. Okay, we have got so much more to share with you tonight. And if you are listening live, I would love for you to come join us in the chat room. Just go to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com, click on the menu bar where it says chat room, put your name in there and come play with us. You can ask me questions live that I will be reading and answering during the show. And we have a lot of fun in there. Playing in the chat room is one of my favorite things about Inspired Choices Network. If you are listening in the replay, remember you can reach out to me, send me a message. I would love to hear what's coming up for you. When my listeners email me, contact me, it's one of the most pleasurable things to hear what they received from the show. So I want you to stick around. I want you to really think about what I'm asking you tonight. And I really want you to tap into your business and ask your business to be present with us as well. Okay, my friends, you're listening to Christine McIver here on the Inspired Choices Show on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back after this break.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices Radio Show with Coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Oh, my friends, thank you so much for being there. And I think all the sneezes are out. So if you're just joining us, I really appreciate you being here, and you are in for a treat because tonight we are talking about money, honey. We're talking about bank, and we're talking about connections. So I want to show you how we're going to bring all of this together to create more pleasure and more ease for you and for your business. Now, I'm not going to talk about this a lot tonight. I'm going to be doing a show about this, but did you know that your business is an entity? It has its own energy, and you can actually communicate with your business, and you can actually ask your business to communicate to you and contribute to you and your bank account. So we are going to be talking about that in one of our future shows. But tonight, what I really want you to do is I want you to just bring your business right beside you. Have your business come right in beside you and have it listen in, have it lean in and pay attention. When I am saying something, pay attention to see if your business kind of nudges you and say, are you listening? Are you listening? Did you get that? That's something that I'd like. Okay. It's really cool when we start to lean into this. And this is something that I have been utilizing for years now, like, probably over 8 years now in my business. And it's so much fun because you know what? You might think that you're a solopreneur. You're not, because your business is working. Your business is your biggest partner in your business and in your creations. You're never, ever alone. It's so, so cool. All right. So if you're just joining us, and let's review what we talked about in the first segment. In the first segment, we talked about many of us showing up on platforms and trying to gather followers, but the algorithms are showing us just because we have a follower, it doesn't mean that they're actually going to get connected with what we've just posted, and certainly not engage with us automatically. We also talked about the need to be affirmed. So many of us want to be affirmed. It's a natural human experience, of course. But for a business, we need to make sure we don't get caught up in the web of needing affirmations, being affirmed, being acknowledged from engagement, because that really stops us. Like I said during the first segment, we get so addicted to people acknowledging what we're doing that we miss the real targets of where we should be focusing with what we are creating in the world. The number one thing that we need to be doing in our business, regardless of whether it's posting online, whether it's connecting with people offline, whether it's creating in our business, whether it's doing our bookkeeping, is being consistent. And most definitely, we have to be consistent when we are showing up online, because there is so much traffic that's out there. And the way that these platforms are set up, they don't always work in your favor for the people that are looking for you. Now, something that I say often, and I'm going to repeat it, is if you have something on your heart, if you have something that you absolutely love to teach, that you love to do, that it really gets you excited about doing, please know that there are people that are out there that are looking for you. So don't stop. Don't ever stop. Keep learning how to show up and how to make it easy for them to find you and communicate with you. But don't stop, because you know what, my friends, just before you actually make that connection, if you give up, you will have been so close that you will have missed it, right? I used to have, I don't have it right now, but I used to have this wonderful plaque that said, don't quit. It's right. Actually, I see it now. I will read it after the next break, but it's so important. Don't quit. Don't give up. Be willing to learn, be willing to grow, and be willing to learn from your choices. That's what all of us need to be doing. All right, let's get back into tonight's show. So I was talking about consistency in showing up. The next piece that I really want to talk about is I really want to talk about our connections. Now, this is going to be both personally and professionally. The energy, if you see yourself, I don't feel like we have a limited amount of energy capabilities as an infinite being, but I do know that each and every day we can certainly utilize and use up our energies, and we can get so distracted by so many different things. And one of the big things is connections with people who are toxic to us. Now, the first place that I want to look at and I want to talk about is family. I come up from a really big family. And whether you come from a large family like I do, I'm the 10th of 11 children. And there are 21 grandchildren, 25 great-grandchildren, and I think 6 great-great-grandchildren. Whether you come from a family that size or you come from a family of 3, a mother, a father, and a child, relationships can be toxic. And this is not something that I do a great deal of. There's a lot of amazing people out there that do. But if you have toxic relationships in your life, relationships that drain you, that make you angry and frustrated, I want you to really look at getting some support with how you can continue to be present with these people, how you can have a relationship with these people, and how you can possibly detach a lot more from them. Because when you have toxic relationships, let's say you're over here and you have personal relationships that are toxic, I want you to think about these toxic relationships like they have a crack in a wall, and though that toxicity is leaking through to your body and leaking through to your business. People talk about, oh, I keep my business and my personal separated. Yeah, right. No, you don't. You can't. You are not a parceled individual. You are one being who probably does a great job trying not to bring all of that into your business or bring your business into your personal life, but you are not a separated being. You are not there's not parts of you. So for you to think that you can actually keep these things separated is really a disservice that you're saying to yourself. You need to be really looking at these connections that you have, and starting with family and starting with friends and looking at how they are contributing, how you feel when you're with them, how you feel about them after you've been with them, when you think about them. That toxicity is a poison that is seeping into your world and it is impacting you. You need to learn how to be with these relationships and eliminate that toxicity as much as you possibly can into the rest of your life, because it will be impacting your life. I want you to think about this. When you imagine a circle and you have a crack in the side of that circle, and there is even just 1% of toxicity, it bleeds into that circle. And that circle is the energy of your life. You'll never know when that energy will impact you and actually stop you from being the best that you can be and really showing up in the world and creating. It is your responsibility to see and to evaluate and to change how these different relationships impact you. That is your responsibility. You maybe didn't get there alone, but if you want to change your world and you want to change your bank account and your business, you have to take responsibility for this. That is on you. And it's not as difficult as it seems. Now, so that we talked about family. Now let's talk about your clients and let's talk about your customers, because it's no different with them. I remember when I first started out, I've told this little story before, but I remember when I first started out and I was looking for coaching clients, and I was willing to take anyone because I was so new at it. My confidence level was quite low. I was looking to really, make bank. I was really looking to create an income with my business. And it was very important that I allowed anybody and everybody to hire me. And I learned very quickly that that was not in my best interest. I had a client that comes to mind, and he would show up and make this demand of me in this client coach relationship. He would make demands of me for me to figure out what he needed to do. And I really felt like I was at the mercy of saying yes and doing what he wanted. And finally, one day, I just finally said, that is not my job. That is your job in this coaching client relationship. And he chose not to continue with me anymore. I knew when I said that to him that he would cancel the coaching package, and that was fine with me. I was completely fine with that. What's very important is we need to stand in our integrity. So check on those poisonous relationships with your customers and your clients. When you eliminate these individuals and these relationships from your life, you are going to get a couple of things. First of all, you'll probably be a little afraid because it might change your bank account initially. But what it's going to do is it is going to actually give you so much space and so much relief in your day-to-day that it's going to allow you to create new possibilities with new clients, with new connections, and having you show up in a much better energy. And remember that the universe abhors a vacuum. The universe wants to fill up a vacuum. So get excited. When you create that space with these relationships that are not creating bank for you, understand, as you create that space, the universe is going to contribute more possibilities. And as you stay in that energy of what really contributes in a positive, pleasurable way for you and your business, things will get better. Don't buy the lie that you are at the effect of other people's choices. This is all about you, my friend. And this is about you and your business. Oh my gosh. Okay, we are already up to our second break. Please stick around. I have got so much more. I hope I have enough time to go through everything with you. And I really do hope that you are enjoying what we're bringing to you tonight. So you're listening to Inspired Choices with myself, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be back right after this break.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices Radio Show with Coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Oh, welcome, my friends. I'm so glad you're here tonight. I'm having so much fun, and I hope you're enjoying what I'm bringing to you tonight. So tonight we're talking all about connections and how connections can make bank. And all of these pieces, I'm not exactly there, but all of these pieces are leading to the steps. So these are some very important steps that I really want you to lean into and listen. So if you're just joining us, you want to go back and absolutely listen to the rest of the beginning of the show. So before, in our second segment, I said that I wanted to read this Don't Quit poem to you because it is a poem that is so close to my heart. It's always here in my office, and I want to read it to you because you know what? I think we all need to hear this over and over again, especially when we are in our own businesses. And sometimes it feels like, it's daunting tasks again and again. And sometimes we do want to quit. We just want to go, oh, I give up. I have been there more times than I would really like to admit. But luckily, after a good night's sleep and sometimes with working with a coach, I don't quit. I don't quit because this is on my heart to continue. And I love doing what I am doing. And as I learn, things get easier and things get more pleasurable. So let me read this to you and then we'll jump back to the show. So don't quit. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're drudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and when you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is strange with its twists and turns. as every one of us sometimes learns. And many failures turn about when we might have won had we stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. You can never tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. It's when things seem worse that you must not quit. Oh my gosh, isn't that absolutely beautiful? That is a poem by Edgar A. Guest. And honestly, it has been with me through more than 30 years of my life. I've had that poem with me, and I love it. And it's something that, each and every one of us needs some inspiration, and we oftentimes need some support to know that, this is not the worst thing in the world, and I can make it through this. So let's get back to the show. Let's talk about connections. Now, I wanted to read the definition to you because we're going to move closer into talking about those connections in business and how they're going to make bank. So the original definition of connection is a state or fact of being connected. Of course, that's a given. It's a binding or joining together. Now, when you think about your connections, when you think about your followers, do you think about being binded with them? Or do you think about that they're just a person in a list? And that's key, because if you were just seeing them as a person in a list, they're going to pick up the energy that they're just a person in a list, that they're just a number to you, that you don't see them as someone that's important. And if you don't see them that way, they're not going to feel like you're someone that they could count on, that you're someone that they could trust, and that you're someone that they could then hire, because they need to. People hire people when they trust them and they have a connection with them, a true connection with them, when they feel like they are joining together. This is so, so important. Another great definition of this is a circle of persons with whom one is brought into more or less intimate relations. Isn't that so cool? When you think about the word connections, I want you to tap into that energy of this intimate circle, an intimate circle. And I also want you to think about, and I've said this a number of times, is when you are on social media, the first word that I want you to really pay attention to is the word social. That is a place where we come together to be social. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's super, super high, where there's a lot of voyeurs online, just a lot of people, and all they're doing is watching and watching and watching what everybody else is doing. Okay, if that's what they want to do, they can do that. But if you, as a business owner, are using social media, and I don't know why in 2022 you wouldn't be, for an added connection with your business, you cannot be a voyeur. You must connect in, and you must engage. If you are not engaging with people, you are not connecting with them. You're not building that intimate relationship. They're not feeling that they can trust you, and therefore they are not going to hire you. Now, is this something that we learned in high school? No. Is this something that, a lot of people suffer from anxiety? A lot of people don't enjoy, they feel like they're not an extrovert, so therefore, they don't connect as much. You know what? I seriously want to challenge every single one of you that is feeling this. If you are in business, it doesn't mean that you need to connect with thousands and thousands of people. What you honestly want to do is you want to look at your numbers. I'm a numbers person. You absolutely know I'm a numbers person. So let's say we're going to play, I'm going to do a little sample. Okay. Let's say that you are in business and this is what I do with my clients all the time. So stick with me. Okay. Let's say you wish to make $150,000 a year. Okay. So 150,000, and I'm doing this in real time, divided by 52 weeks. Oh dear. Hold on. is $2,884 a week. Okay. So if we divide that by 5, that's $576 a day. It's much more doable, right? If you have a product or a service, and I'm going to use a very reasonable amount, I'm going to use $150. Okay. If you have a product or a service for $150, that works out to 3.8 people a day. All right, stick with me. So you have 3.8 sales you would like to make per day. Now, if you are using the old adage of sales numbers and how many people do I need to connect with and speak with in order to turn that into a sale? Now, they could be lower than this, but I'm going to use the sales average. So the sales average says that in order for me to have 3.8 connections and actually hire me, all right, I need to be speaking to 10 people. I need to be reaching out and connecting with 10 people in order to garner that many sales. So we're talking about, let's just round it up. So 4 sales a day at $150, and that works out to 40 people. Now, how many people, and I know, I'm the owner and CEO of Inspired Choices Network, and I talk to a lot of people about having their own show, and, they want to know the numbers, and they want, I heard that people can have 100,000 listeners and all the rest of it. And yes, that's definitely a possibility, but I challenge them. I ask them, do you want to have 1,000 listeners who are tire kickers, or do you really want to have a significant amount of people, right? Do you want to have a significant amount of people that are actually connecting with you, really feeling that connection that you're building trust with and that are going to hire you? It's a different mindset. And when you show up in that way, when you're showing up in your business with this mindset, it changes everything for you. You don't feel like you have to push so hard. You get to really lean into and sit down into your expertise and stop and have that conversation. When you are making connections, when you are making these communications with people and you're having real conversation, even if it's through text, and you're being very present with 40 people a day, and that's not a lot of people, because the average person communicates even through text, even through some posts, it doesn't take more than 2 to 3 minutes. So we're talking about 40 people times 3 in a day, right? Is 40, 80, 100 and 120 minutes. So we're talking about 2 hours a day that you are making real connections at the most. Now, some people say to me, Christine, that's a lot of time. Is it? Is it really a lot of time? Or are you cranking out new material over and over and over again instead of, which is, by the way, it's kind of like, water on the sand, it's just getting lost? Or are you actually posting and connecting and making those real communications with people so that they feel like you are someone that it sees them and wants to actually support them where they are, and they want to then hire you in their business? This is where connections turn into bank. When you are present, when you are really showing up with content that is good, it doesn't have to be like never been put out there in the world, but you're showing up with good content, but you are really being present with those individuals and you really care about them. Do you only care about the money? And you should care about money. We're on a planet where money is necessary. But do you only care about the money? Is that the energy that they're getting when you're just blasting posts at them, as opposed to posting and then really connecting and engaging with individuals. You can engage with people when people like your comments. You can send them a message and say, thank you so much, Susan, for liking my post. May I ask you, what was it about the post that you enjoyed? And if they said, I don't know, it just was cool, just say, thanks, I appreciate that. But guess what? That you're planting a seed. You're planting a seed in building a relationship with that individual. Now, they may go away and never like your posts again, but they may not. They may be just, they want to be affirmed as well. They want to be acknowledged. They want to be seen. So when you are asking them questions, and not from a push energy, from a really, I'm curious, what was it about that? And you have communication. Remember, you want to be communicating and engaging with people more than 70% of the time before you are asking for them to be a customer or to purchase something from you. Create a relationship, relate to each other, have a binding communication with them so they feel supported and like you're someone that they know. They want to hire you when they know you and they trust you. And this is where your connections can absolutely turn into bank. All right, we're not done yet. Hold on. And I hope you've been making notes. And I would love to ask you, if you're someone who would love to learn more about growing your business, and if you're someone that would like to bring your voice to the world, I have this very cool program that we have just created. We have 5 different levels of being a host here on Inspired Choices Network. So we have something for everyone. And our first level is called our bronze host level. And we have created this very cool, very supportive, fully packed with great knowledge course that is complimentary. And you can go to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com/choice. You'll learn more information about that. And this is a course that you could take a couple of hours and go through. You're going to learn about what it means to bring your voice to the world, how to set up, how to speak, how to interview, how to make it part of your strategy, and how to monetize your show. So I would love to share that with you. And if you've taken the course and you'd like to share what your experience has, please shoot me an email. I always love to understand and learn from my clients and customers as well. All right, we are up to our final break. Don't go away. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be back right after this.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices Radio Show with Coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Thank you so much for being here, my friends. I'm so excited. I love doing these shows and I love connecting with each and every one of you. So please do send me an email. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. And if you have any questions or comments, you absolutely can reach out, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Now, before we jump into the last segment of our show, I really want to let you know that I have over close to 400 episodes that you can either listen to or watch on the Inspired Choices Network. You can find all of the podcasts there in my library, or you know what? Go on your favorite podcast platform. We are on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Audible, Apple, Bulberry. Like, we are everywhere. YouTube. You go to your favorite location and type in Inspired Choices, and you will find all of my shows there. And if there's some topic that you would like me to cover, something that you're maybe challenged with in your business, please shoot me an email. I love to actually talk to where people are at right now. So let's jump back into the final segment of our show, and we're talking all about how connections can make bank. Well, we know that people have to hire us. People have to buy from us in order for us to have bank. Now, I played with the words make bank. You actually can't make money. The only two people that can make money is the government, right, in the mint, or an actual counterfeiter. You're not making it, you're receiving it. So how about you learn to receive connections? One of the most important things that you want to be doing is being consistent. We talked about that. You want to be really being present and playing with your numbers, figure out those numbers. It's not that hard. I have a strategic business package that I work with entrepreneurs to really help them lay out a strategy, how many classes, how many products they need to be selling to actually make their numbers. Please reach out to me. I'd love to tell you about that. But one of the most important things, in addition to those, is you need to be, every single solitary time you post something and somebody comments, and ask a question. When you're making your post, ask a question. You'll have more people probably respond to the question. But when someone comments, it is essential. And like, I can't emphasize this enough. It's essential that you respond to every single solitary comment. If someone's comment is thank you, say you're welcome. If someone's comment is I love this, thank you so much for letting me know that. If someone's comment is where do I find out more information, I'd love to tell you, let me message you, or here's my email address. You have to respond to every single solitary comment. That's how you start to build trust. Remember, and engage. It's not only about waiting for people to comment on yours. Go out there and start commenting. Bring your brilliance out to the world in other people's comments as well. Not from a know-it-all energy, but from a let me contribute, let me celebrate, let me praise other people as well. You know, it's like putting good karma out. It will come back, and you might make a colleague who will then do the same with you. And we know that when we have engagement on our posts, those posts actually get seen more and more frequently. It's not about how many posts get seen, but it's about being able to show up and show people that you are present and that you really care. That's where they're going to trust you, and that's where they're going to begin to hire you and inquire more. I want you to think about what you're investing in. I want you to think about what you are investing your time in, your energy in, and your expectations in. Does it energize you? Do you need support? Hire a coach. Oh my gosh. I have hired so many coaches that have supported me to grow at the aspect where I was in my business. It changes the game for you. And I want you to think about the investment and what you're seeking. I want you to be out there seeking it like a missile. Seek what it is that you desire, my friends. Don't stop. Don't quit. Don't give up. There are so many opportunities for every single person in the world. Get the tools that you need and the support that you need. we are here. And I would love for you to check out that course that I was talking about. Let it contribute to you. I'm sure that there is going to be a nugget or two in there for every single one of my listeners. So until next time, my friends, I want you to remember you can always make another choice. It's important for you to know you have the power to do that. Until next time, take good care. Mwah! Bye for now.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Radio Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.